Okay, so to graph this, the first thing we want to do is change the inequality to an equal. Okay, so step one, change the inequality to an equal so we can graph the equation. Step two is solve for y. Get it in the form y equals mx plus b so we can graph it. So step two, to get this to solve for y, we just add x to both sides. And when we do that, we get y equals, those cancel, x minus 1. It's the same as minus 1 plus x. But let me write it in the form mx plus b. So now to graph this, what do? Well, we learned this earlier. Start at -1 on the y-axis. So we start here, right here, the y-intercept. The slope, the number in front of x, the coefficient of x is 1, but let's think of 1 as 1 over 1, yeah? Because that, now we know we go up 1 over 1. So we go up 1 over 1. And now we connect the dots with a line. But this is where the question is, do we connect it with a solid line or dotted line? Well, you go back to the original problem. This has an equal underneath it, so we make our graph with the solid line, as I explained in the earlier video. So here's our line. Now, as I explained in the other video, either all the points on this side will make this inequality true, or all the points on the other side. So we got to test a point on one side of the line or the other. It doesn't matter which one. If you pick a point over here and it works, you shade this side because that means everywhere over here works. If you pick a point on this side and it doesn't work when you plug it in here, it means the other side is the side that works. So I always pick the origin as my test point to see if it works in the original problem. The only time you can't is if your graph goes through the origin. Well, then you got to pick some other point. So let me pick a test point. I think you can see this if I do it over here. Yeah. So let me test the origin, which x is 0 and y is 0. So we go back to the original problem, and wherever there's an x, you plug in 0, and wherever there's a y, you plug in 0. So we get 0 minus 0 is greater than or equal to -1. 0 minus 0 is 0. And now the question is, 0 bigger than -1? Well, it actually is, right? Because on the number line, 0 is to the right of -1, so 0 is bigger. It is true. So when I pick this point, that point is on this side. It worked, so that means all the points on this side will work. So we shade this side, and the solution to this inequality are all the points in this shaded region plus the points that lie on the line. We include the points that lie on the line because that's the equation part. You know, when I pick a point that is on the line and plug it in here, it will actually equal -1. We want to include that, that's the solid line, because that has an equal underneath it. So the next video we'll do another example.